A major road into the town of Owl's Head, New York, closed to outsiders, but full of law enforcement officers. Every quarter mile or so, armed state police stand patrol next to wooded areas, looking for any signs of fugitives Richard Matt and David Sweat. More than 2,200 leads have now come in, say police.
We've received reported sightings each day, and we have investigated every one. We will continue to ensure to the public that every sighting or lead that is reported will be investigated until exhausted.
Exhaustive describes the searching. State and federal law enforcement members doing grid searches in different parts of Franklin County, where Owl's Head is located. DNA samples from the killers were found in a cabin in the woods. And understandably, many owners and guests of other cabins in the woods are staying away while the searching is going on. So when we walked up to this cabin, we didn't expect to find anybody. But we found Al Mossy.
A lot of people have left their cabins or
yeah,
are coming.
I know, but I'm not one of them.
Al bought this vacation hunting cabin in Adirondack Park years ago and is now retired and lives here permanently.
Do you feel safe? You're right in the middle of the search zone for these two killers.
Yeah.
You're not going to leave?
No.
How come?
No reason to.
The 81-year-old lives with his 140-pound dog, Yoda, and says odds are tiny the escapees would choose his cabin to seek refuge. And besides, he's armed.
20 gauge, 12 gauge shotguns, 2-3 deer rifles, 30-06s.
Al Mossy believes the killers won't be able to navigate their way out of this wilderness without police seeing them. And he's convinced they will be captured, even though it's taking some time, which is something police are addressing.
Time is always a concern. It generally works against the police in the immediate response, but it works typically for law enforcement long term as we begin to coalesce around the search area, bring in more partners.
Al Mossy does say his 79-year-old girlfriend is scared, so they're spending the nights together for now. But he's told her,
I'm not changing my life for this, no.
And you're not the least bit uneasy?
No. Do I look it?
No, he does not. Gary, do authorities think at all that Matt and Sweat could not be in this area?
Police believe they are still here, and that's why there are more than 1,000 federal, state, and local police forces on the streets. They'll continue to be here tomorrow. They anticipate the possibility of a violent end. They are ready for that eventuality. They don't have any proof that these men are armed. No one has reported a gun being stolen, but as we just showed you, cabins, hunting cabins, have guns, many of them, and many people don't want to come back here and go in their hunting cabins to make sure everything's okay. So the scenario that a lot of police officials feel is that these guys may have found a gun in one of the cabins and may be armed and dangerous.
Although, given that a lot of these cabins aren't used for much of the year, I mean, a lot of gun owners wouldn't be leaving a gun in a cabin that's, you know, that they abandoned for much of the year.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't, but the scenario that a lot of police officials feel could be happening here is that these guys are going into many cabins because they're trying to find a gun.
Right.
And if they get lucky and find a gun, then that would make them very concerned.
Got it. Well, Gary, appreciate the report.